everyone, today's video is going to be an update on my Project 10 uses. So I started this a month ago, and honestly, I'm just loving it so much. I really am. This was inspired by a beauty guru made me do it, Paula. It is Paula. I kept saying Pamela last time, but it's Paula. Here on YouTube, I'll link her channel down below because, like I said, I got this idea from her. But what I've done is I picked out some items. I took out 10 items from my collection and I want to use them 10 times. For me, this has just been so great because I've had these items up on my vanity, which is what you're sitting on at the moment. And so they've been like on my mind and they've been front and center. But I don't feel obligated to use them. It's very relaxed. You know, I can go through and if I'm like, you know what, I'm really feeling like a pink eyeshadow look today and I don't have any pink eyeshadow in these 10 products, so I just go grab something else. I love it. I feel really inspired by makeup recently, and I think that this project is a great solution for me at this juncture. Still making sure I'm appreciating what I have, not tempted to buy more, but also not putting too much pressure on myself to only use certain things, and you know, I'm really being able to enjoy my whole collection. Now, everything in this video is eye products because I'm only wearing eye products. I considered putting my nail polish in. I have a nail polish rack, right? It lives right here. But I decided not to do that because I do feel like I filter through my nail polish pretty regularly. And like I very much, just like I do with makeup, I like seasonal nail polish. I like seasonal makeup. I like to use makeup, you know, that I feel like is very like spooky right now. I feel like this is kind of a spooky look we have going on. So I decided that I'm not going to put my nail polish in this project for the moment. So I'm still just focusing on eye products. And like I said, using them 10 times, which doesn't sound like that much, but it is. It is more than I thought. So I'll start with the Balm Cosmetics Balm Jovi palette. So I got 4 uses out of this in the month, which I feel like is a decent amount. Here we are, and it's got these cheap products. Now I haven't been using these. But this palette is past its prime, which happens, you know, we know makeup goes bad. These metallic-y shades, like this Iron Maiden shade, which used to be a beautiful metallic, it's matte now. And these don't, they blend fine, but they don't have very much pigment. Like I tried to use the shade Presto in my brows, which I used to do and I loved it, but it's not saturated enough. So I just think this has gotten really old. I know I got this while I was still in undergrad. I graduated undergrad in 2015, and it is 2020, so it's like 6 years old, because I didn't get it like right when I was graduating. So, you know, I'm not excited that I have to just throw this away because I'm not going to give it to someone if it's so old, like it's not usable. That's not very kind. But I know that I've changed my makeup buying habits, so like hopefully in the future there will be much less throwing away of things that just gotten old, especially when, though I have pan here, really a lot of this looks newer than I'm comfortable with. It's not like this is like pretty panned, it's gotten a lot of love out of it. It hasn't, but it's past its prime, so I am deciding to go ahead and throw this away. So that's gone. Now, we have 9 more products to discuss. First we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Riviera palette. So one of y'all actually gave this to me, which was the most kind. I really needed it. Like, not that I needed makeup, but I was having a really rough time at that moment, and she sent it to me, and it was very impactful for me. And I love this palette, and I think it's a very summer palette, and we're going into fall. But I've done some really cool looks with it. I always want to go to this Bahamas shade, which I have done. It does stain your eyelids, but I've also I did this like really cool look with Mediterranean cans the other day. Loved that. You can definitely do some neutral. I've used Seychelles in my inner corner, and I thought that was really fun. This shade Palm is a little warm tone for my brows, but I tried it. You know, even though I've only used it 3 times in a month, I just feel like I've really gotten to know this palette better. So I'm excited to continue to use this. I'm going to get my 10 uses out of it for sure. I'm still loving this palette, not ready to have this leave my collection. and it's just great. And I've really had a good time playing with it. And I also have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism palette, which before this I'd used like once, maybe twice. This is a perfect fall palette. So this is what I have on my lids today. You could probably guess that. I have Sphere in the crease. I have Unity as my brow bone highlight. I have Throne all over the lid, and I really appreciate Throne because it's a very dark green, but it's not black. Sometimes you can have like a deep shade that just looks black, but this still reads very green. And I have Lucid in my inner corner. But I do really love this palette. I've played with it some. I've got 4 uses out of it, so that means I'm going to get 6 more looks out of it, and I'm excited. I will say I used Lure the first time in my crease, and it was a little patchy. The overall look turned out to be beautiful, but at first I wasn't feeling that. But I've really just enjoyed it. I really have. I created like a very orangey look with these 2 shades. Had a great time. Loving this palette. Perfect for fall. Which, as I said in a recent video, for me, fall is like spooky time. I love me some Halloween, so I'm really loving this palette. And I'm excited that I've pulled it out because I hadn't really gotten any use out of it before this project. So it's definitely making me use things I already have and really start to appreciate them. Next, we have the Urban Decay Electric palette. And I've gotten 2 uses out of this, so there you go. Now, I will say, I don't think I said this at the beginning, usually when I use these palettes, I just use the one palette. But if I were to use like a shade from here and then a shade from the Prism palette, then I would count that as a use for each one. I don't have to only use that palette, just so we're clear. But I did like a purpley look with this palette, and I just absolutely loved it. I pulled into this shade both times I've used this palette, actually. This shade being Jilted, and it's just so pretty. It pulls a lot more pink on the lids. So I don't feel like I've definitely gotten enough use out of it to say. I love this palette. I think it's really pretty. I don't know. Something about it kind of is, there's like a little bit of a mental block for me, and I don't know why. So I'm still, playing with it, enjoying it. Like I said, I've gotten 2 uses out of it, which means I've got 8 more. And if you're wondering, I just have it on a little notebook. And so I have a bar stool right here my dad made me. I can show you if you're actually interested. Let me move my water. So my dad made me this bar stool. He made one for my sister and brother too. And it's got the crest of the University of Florida on it. Oh, and that's my dad's signature. So I use it as, it got a little scratch, I know. It's been moved 3 times? At least, well, maybe only once. I'm not sure. But I use it right here as like my filming table / like, I put my drinks on it with coasters. These coasters are actually from France. My dad gave me those too. But I put things on it just like that I have when I'm getting ready in the morning. And so I leave this little notebook right there. And every time I use a product from it, I just put a little tally mark. It's been really easy keeping up with it. Next, we'll talk about this Stila palette. So I was like pretty much 100% convinced I was going to just throw this out. I've used it twice, and both times I love the look I got. I got this like banana-y look with these 2 shades, loved it, and then I did like a warm tone look up here, loved that too. So I've, 2 looks down, 8 to go. We'll still see how I'm feeling about it after using it 8 more times, but I love it. Like, the 2 looks I got out of it I think were really great. These shadows are just so huge. They're 2.6 grams a piece. A normal eyeshadow is 1.5. And those take forever to use up. So, I don't know. That is a little intimidating to me, but, I'm using it and enjoying it so far. So we'll keep it. I don't want to be getting rid of things just because I think I don't like it. That's the whole point of this. What do I have? Making sure I get a lot of use out of it and really establish my thoughts about these products. Next, we have the Cynthia Rowley Silver Eyeliner. So I actually have this on today, not on my lower lids, on my inner rim. And I don't know if it's really very impactful there. This is a beautiful liner. I really like it. It's just silver, so you have to do a deep look like I have on now in order to really define your eyes with it. So I love it. I just don't know how functional it is for how I do my makeup. I have tried, no, I haven't tried. I know I can use it as a as an all over base, and I keep thinking I should do that. I just haven't done it yet, which is my own fault. So I might do that pretty soon and see how I like it like that. But this is a good eyeliner. It's very creamy still. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the color is unique and cool. I just don't know. I also kind of want to do like a graphic liner look. I have this idea. I just haven't done it yet. So maybe I'll play with that. Next. Oh, you know what? I didn't mark it off. Let me do it right now. Choo. This Lise Watier eyeliner. I got this in Canada when John and I were there in 2017. And it's a good eyeliner. So it's just glitter, and this is what I have on my top lid. It's not as chock full of glitter as the Urban Decay Heavy Metals. These kind of, heavy metal glitter liners. I love this. This is the only one I have of that. I also bought this on that trip, actually. This is super impactful, very dark, lots of glitter. This has a lot of glitter, but you have to go back through multiple times. It's kind of hard to get all the glitter onto my applicator. I'm not sure this is the best. I don't know why, because you just pull it out, but I don't think you're gonna be able to see. But there's like this hole in the middle where the brush goes, and then I try to move it around in there. I might pull out the stopper. I've thought about that. I don't know if that'd be a hot mess. I don't know, but it's a little hard to get it all out. But I've used it 2 times. I feel like I've used it more than that. But I've written down 2 times, so that's what we're gonna go with. But I do like it a lot. Next, we have this eyeshadow from the Awesome Mix. So this is from Geek Chic Cosmetics, which is no longer available. Fun fact, I was looking to link them after my last video. I used this, and they're not available anymore. They've decided to shut down, which is a bummer. But this is a shadow from that set, and it's the Destroyer, so it's for Drax. And I use this as like an all over the lid look, like a one shadow look, and it's beautiful. It's got this like purple micro shimmer in it that actually shows up on the eyes. So I've only used it that one time. Yeah, so this only has 1 use, which is a little disappointing, but it's one more use than I've probably ever gotten out of it before. So it's okay, no pressure here. This is supposed to be a really casual thing. I keep reminding myself of that because I don't want to force myself to just use these shadows. But I really like it, the one use I got out of it, I enjoyed it a lot. Then we have the MAC the MAC Single Shadow in the shade Shine. So this is a Dazzle shadow, and it is beautiful. I had never used this before. I've used it twice now, and I've loved both looks. So first time I just did like a normal eyeshadow primer with it, and then the second time I did a glitter primer. This is so stunning. It's absolutely beautiful. I really love it. Considering wearing this to my wedding, I don't know. It's a little pinky, but I love this so much. I think it's absolutely stunning. So, big fan of this eyeshadow. And like I said, I hadn't used it before this project, and now I've used it twice. So that's really good. That's what I wanted to get out of this project, was to, how do I feel about all these things that I have that I never used or I don't use very often? Do I still like them? Are they still good? Because, makeup goes bad, and we know that. And the last product of the original 10 is this MAC pigment in the shade Star Dream. So I've used this once. Is that right? Yeah. I used it as an inner corner. It was very pretty. It's a beautiful coppery shade. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I just don't know if it's unique enough for me to want to keep it in a pigment form, if that makes sense. I don't know. I still need to play with it because, like I said, I've only used it once. And the one time I used it, I really liked it. I need to decide. So I've got 9 more uses out of that. So that's really exciting. Those are my original 10 products. I've obviously moved one out because I've decided to go ahead and throw this away. So I need to pull in one more because I want to have this kind of like a rolling style where I always have 10 products in it. Or like if I use something 10 times in the next update, I'll bring in something new. And I do think that I might have some more that I've used 10 times next time. I've really enjoyed this. I know I said that already, but I really think this is a great kind of middle ground for me to still get use out of my products, to determine what I have, how do I feel about it, what do I like, What do I, you know, no longer like? What can go? I've really, really enjoyed it. I'm super happy with it. So I've decided for my 10th product, my new one that I'm going to bring in, I'm going to bring in the Urban Decay Vice 4 palette. So this came out in 2015, I think, or was it 2016? I think 2015. I'm not sure. And I loved it. And I still really like it. This shade, as I say every time, is my favorite. You can tell I hit pan on it. But I feel like this is a great fall palette. And you know, I always am like, this is one of my favorites. I love it. I recently used this shade and this Delete shade. So this was all over the lid and Delete was in the outer corner. And Delete was all the way off my lid before I even got to school. I live like 20 minutes from my school. So that's not great. So I'm a little concerned that this has gone the way of the Balm Jovi palette, where it's kind of lost some of its like impact and it's maybe not good anymore. Which again is a huge bummer, because I do think about, like, you know, the ecological impact of like all of this plastic that's gonna live now forever because I wanted a palette that I didn't even use that much. So I don't want to beat myself up too much about it because it's already happened and you can't fix it. It's just like further support to my idea of like not buying as much, really changing my buying habits and how I think about acquiring new items in my life. So we're gonna see. We're gonna try to use it 10 times. See if it's still good. See if it's worth keeping, or see if it's gone bad and I have to throw it away. So here we are. So that is my new item. So those are the 10 items I'll be using, trying to use 10 times. I've gotten anywhere from 4 to 1 use out of the other 9 products. And I'm really happy that I don't have any that I didn't use at all. So I think that's pretty good. Because again, before this, I had never used this. I had never used this. I had never used this. I'm not sure if I had ever used this. And the other things I hadn't used very much. So, you know, I'm really enjoying this. I think it's great. Highly recommend it. I feel like I'm just being redundant at this point. So I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you have any questions, requests, suggestions, or comments, go ahead and leave those down below. I recommend doing this if you're like trying to figure out where a project you want to do, or like where you want to fit on this like project panning world. This is where I am right now, and I'm very happy here. So come on and join us. Yeah, I'll see you real soon. Bye.